Alright, we are almost there. The iPhone 17's release in less than a week, so today I want to go over the final leaks and rumors that we have been hearing. We've got some last minute design changes that have surfaced, a couple of things that have been confirmed, and a look at all of the weird accessories that Apple has planned for this generation. But we'll get to that a bit later in the video because I want to start off with the updated final design on the iPhone 17 Pro. For months now, we've known about the larger camera bar that's coming, but we didn't know it would end up being a central design element of a redesigned antenna band array as well. See, on current iPhones, the way that Wi-Fi and cellular transmit through metal is via these small transparent slots that sit around the corners of the phone. You can see it in action right now on all of the corners for the iPhone 16 series. But on the iPhone 17 Pro, this is completely changing. Apple is removing the cutouts at the top and the bottom and extending those on the side to now wrap around the different elements, in particular going all the way around the new camera bump. And if this looks a little familiar, it actually might. It's because Apple's antennas on the Apple Watch Ultra work exactly like this, wrapping around the top of the watch and using that as a funnel for cellular. So on the iPhone 17 Pro, Apple saw another opportunity. And while it's not clear if this is going to enable like better or faster 5G, I like that Apple is giving us a reason for the camera bump getting larger. They could have changed it, sure, just for the sake of changing it, but there is really going to be a lot of functionality underneath baked into this new aesthetic. And speaking of aesthetics, that two-tone Pro design with aluminum and glass, that is 100% confirmed at this point because we've just gotten a new leak of Apple's clear case for 2025. And let's just say it's not exactly a clear case anymore. Yeah, on the iPhone 17 Pro clear case, Apple's got this white block down at the bottom. And if you're wondering why they're doing that, it's because they want to hide the way MagSafe looks. See, Apple's changing up MagSafe this year by moving the ring down a little bit and taking some pieces from the bottom, and if you put the Apple logo in the middle, it would end up looking like this in a clear case, which admittedly is one of the most ugly designs I've ever seen in history. So what is Apple's solution to their own problem? We'll just color the entire section in, and then you can't see MagSafe at all from the outside. I don't really know what to say about this one other than you can't really call that a clear case, but it is something that Apple will have on sale alongside the Pros this year, and I'm very curious to see what the reaction from the rest of the community will be. This being said, I do think the new cutout is going to be worth it because according to yet another rumor, Apple has tested reverse wireless charging on the iPhone 17 Pros specifically. And it suggests in addition to being able to charge your AirPods on the back, you could also wirelessly charge something like your Apple Watch, which I think this alone would be more than enough to justify the new look, considering you can now travel without the extra charger just for your watch. I mean, just zoom out and take a look at this MagSafe area. It essentially looks like a mini wireless charging pad on its own, which is going to be something Apple heavily markets as a reason this new design is worth it. Keep in mind that Apple is also downgrading titanium for aluminum on the Pros too. It's one of the first rumors we ever heard for these phones. And I have to say, as I started to look a little bit closer at the teaser for this year's Apple event, I think it's all starting to make sense. The more I looked at this, the more it looked like a heat map, and side by side, they are scarily similar, with temperatures going from cooler blue colors to warmer reds as temperature changes. And all of a sudden, Apple getting rid of titanium started to click. I mean, at its simplest base level, aluminum is much more thermally conductive than titanium. It means it's easier for heat to dissipate and get out of your phone with aluminum than the titanium design. Coincidentally, we've also heard that a vapor chamber cooling system is coming on the Pro models, which would allow the phone to run more powerful for longer without overheating. I think Apple realized that titanium is great, but that they backed themselves into a thermal performance corner. So in order to start moving forward again, Apple had to go back to a material that can cool quickly. This is just an idea. I don't know any of this 100% for sure, but I have to say the puzzle pieces are definitely lining up. And now knowing all of that, I think I'm cool with titanium going away. I think it'll be worth it, especially long term. Following that, you would think that using the iPhone 17 Pro and Apple products in general means that you and your data is safe, but that is unfortunately not the case. There are a ton of data breaches that happen every year, and whenever that happens, your info starts getting shared around online. So bad that these data brokers will start selling your information without you even knowing. And that's why I partnered up with Incogni, who sponsored today's video. With Incogni, they reach out to these data brokers on your behalf and they tell them to stop using your stuff because that's your right. Plus, Incogni even added a new custom data removal feature where if you see a link about yourself online, you can send it directly to them and they'll take a look and try to get it taken down. My life after Incogni has been so much better, and in an era where it feels like everything is public, Incogni has made it feel a little bit more private, which I really appreciate. So take your personal data back with Incogni. Use code AppleTrack at the link below to save 60% off an annual plan at incogni.com/AppleTrack. Big thank you to them for sponsoring this video and my whole channel throughout the year. Now, let's get back to it. On the other hand, something we haven't heard much about is the front display on the 17 Pros this year, and unfortunately, rumors are still split pretty much down the middle on whether or not the dynamic island is actually getting smaller. But according to one rumor, Apple is making the displays even brighter, and it's said that in direct sunlight, it'll be much easier to see what's on your screen. Right now, iPhones go up to about 2,000 nits of peak brightness, so potentially like the Apple Watch Ultra, we could see it go up to 3,000. And while generally a brighter display would mean worse battery life, this same rumor says that Apple is doing some significant battery improvements on the Pro models too, giving them what is called the best battery life in iPhone history across both units. As we've heard previously, this will be achieved by Apple making the batteries physically larger as well as redesigning the pack that sits inside. And I think Apple may have, after all of these years, actually cracked iPhone battery life. It'll finally be great. However, the remaining days of the physical SIM tray in the iPhone will not be that long term, as this year in more countries than ever, Apple will be transitioning to eSIM. They have sent out some new training materials to some authorized providers, especially in the EU, letting us know that the physical SIM will be going away on more models than ever. But we do see evidence that it's not going away entirely. Some iPhone 17 Pros, probably in China, will once again have a physical SIM tray, and we've seen the evidence for such. So it's just like every year, Apple's trying to remove a few more countries and they want everybody to do eSIM, which ultimately is easier for everybody. I don't know if it's better, but it is really easy once you start using eSIM. Following that, we actually have some good news on iPhone 17 pricing, as it might not actually be as bad as we thought. According to a new report from one analyst, only one of the iPhone 17 models is getting a true price increase year over year, and that's the base iPhone 17, which currently starts at $999, but is said to go up $100 to $1099. In order to rationalize this, Apple will cleverly be doubling the base storage from 128 to 256 gigabytes, so technically it's the same price as last year, there's just no cheaper option anymore. As for the other models, everything would stay pretty much the same as it is right now, meaning that the base cheapest iPhone 17 would remain at $799, which I do think would be pretty impressive if it happens, just because Apple is facing the increased costs of tariffs, specifically in the United States, and it's a lot of money that they would probably rather pass on to the consumers. So we have to wait and see, but this is good news. Now, finally for the iPhone 17s, if the phones weren't different enough this year, there are some really different accessories Apple is working on. First, for the iPhone 17 Air, we're hearing that they have considered doing a bumper case, which is an instant callback to the iPhone 4, I think the last time Apple has offered an official bumper case. The idea would be to keep the phone thin and lightweight while also offering some level of protection, but I just think any case on the 17 Air is going to make it the thickness of every other phone, so you would probably want to go caseless regardless. Next, Apple's also going to be introducing a new type of case this year called TechWoven, which is going to be the long sought after replacement for fine woven, which was that disastrous micro material that did not age well at all because it did not hold up. From what we can see in the photos alone, TechWoven seems to be much more robust and durable with a thicker weave. I just think it looks not great. I don't think these cases look very good is the problem. Apple's just on this quest to get rid of leather in a bunch of their products because it's not good, and I get that, but also leather cases are nice for a reason. Leather is just a nice premium material, and while Apple can continue to look outside for something that is environmentally friendly, at the end of the day, I think people still want the Apple leather cases back, and until then, I don't necessarily see this being a hit. Then there's the last accessory Apple's introducing this year, which is an additional lanyard for their official cases. It's going to come in all kinds of different colors per these leaked images. I just don't know if people use lanyards in 2025? As soon as I heard this, all I could think about out was the iPod Touch 5 so many years ago that had that built-in lanyard hook, but the problem is I don't think people used it then, and I don't think they're gonna use it now. Maybe I'm just a hater and I'm missing something, because I have been thinking about it for days, and I'm like, lanyard? No lanyard. Okay, thanks for watching this video. We are so close to the iPhone 17.5. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned something new. If you did, drop a like down below and hit subscribe for more on the iPhone 17 very soon. I'm beyond excited for this year, and I hope you are as well. So thanks for watching. I've been Sam, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye-bye.